rate increases were probably a little bit less than expected, in all honesty, especially in the context of the last year. If you go back to renewal season and look at what was happening then with Maria, Harvey, and Irma particularly, I think it's fair to say that most people 8 or 9 months ago would have expected bigger rate increases. Those didn't materialize, and there are several very important reasons for that. They had an effect on rates. Even though rates didn't go up as much as people possibly expected, it's important to remember that rates did shore up. They didn't decrease. They stayed basically flat. And that is something, especially when you look at the context of the last 5 or 6 years, which have seen mainly rate decreases year on year. Well, this is actually the really important part of the story, and this is what makes the sector really unique in the context of its own history right now. During the hurricanes that happened during renewal season mainly, with Irma, with Harvey, and with Maria, people really thought that those losses were going to be big drivers of capital and rates at the year end and at June 1st. What happened instead is that during the last 4 months of 2017, we had $7 billion of new capital come into the sector. That, I think, was unanticipated. That was a very large influx of capital that affected rate changes at January 1st and at June 1st. So it can't be overstated how much capital has really affected pricing in a way that it didn't in the past. If we were talking about 2011, if we were talking about 2008, or if we were talking about 2005, rates would have been up quite a bit more than they are now. To go up 1.2% after having had the biggest cat loss year ever is really quite significant. As you can see from our June 1st renewal report, capital went from $330 billion at the end of 2016 to $340 billion at the first half, we estimate, of 2018. Now that's in spite of a $140 billion cat loss year, the biggest cat loss year ever that we've ever experienced. So that in and of itself is extraordinary. And that excess of supply is what has driven price down. By definition, when you have an excess of supply, your pricing moves down the demand curve and pricing pressure is created. And that's what's happening right now.